Hi guys! So in this video I am going to show you guys how to create a monogram for a coffee mug or really a monogram for anything, but in this specific case I'm going to add my monogram to this nice new thermos that I got. Just came in a couple days ago and I am in love with it. It's keeping my coffee warm and Liz Mama needs some coffee. So we are going to first measure the space that we're going to be working with. So I think I want to keep my design about I think 2.5 by 2.5 is plenty big. Maybe even 2.25. I might even, yeah, let's do 2.25. I think that will look good. And then I'm also going to monogram the front and then I will monogram the back just because I like to be able to obviously see my design as I'm drinking my coffee, but it's also fun to have it on the other side so that you can kind of share it and show it off too. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into Design Space and I'm going to show you how to create a monogram.
Okay guys, so here we are in Cricut Design Space. What we're going to do is we are going to add text, and we are going to use the text Monograms, I believe it's called. Let's see, there it is. And I believe this is from defont.com. Okay, so what you're going to do is you have Monograms. You are going to, I like to add my each initial in a separate text box. So my first would be B, and you're going to want to do lowercase. I'll show you what happens when you do uppercase. Uppercase is like this, and that's, I mean, if you wanted it to look that way, if that's what you're going for, then definitely use uppercase. But I am going for this look. Where the letter is actually the space I'm using and not the negative space, if that makes sense. So, okay, so we're going to go lowercase, and we're going to add another text box and do D. Actually, let me redo that so that they're all the same size. Whoops. Wrong button. B. There we go. D and R. Okay. There we go. Now I'll make these a lot bigger so you guys can really see. Okay, so now we just have to separate separate each of these letters so that we have one final image that has B, D, and R in it. So it's a little bit tricky. I wish that we could just contour them out, but unfortunately that's not the way it's going to allow us to do it. But there is another way that you can. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a shape and a square. And what we're going to do is we're actually just going to slice them out. So I'm going to create this shape here, and I'm just going to duplicate it a couple times because I'm going to need it. Let's see, 1, 2, 4 times. Okay, so let me show you guys what I'm going to do here. I am going to, on this first one, I want this B to stay, but I want these two gone. So I'm going to cover what I don't want. I'm going to highlight both the rectangle box and the B that I do want, highlight them all together, and head over here to slice. Okay, now I'm going to click the rectangle and delete, and I'm going to click delete again and delete again. And now I'm left with just my B. Okay, we, in this one, are going to want to keep the middle D, so we're going to have to do it twice. Okay, so again, covering what I don't want to keep, highlighting everything, and hitting slice. And then you do your multiple deletes, and then lather, rinse, and repeat. So kind of a stinker way to do it, but it works. And kind of when you start getting into the motion of it, it goes really fast. So, okay, this is the R I want to keep. Again, covering what I want to get rid of. highlighting everything, and slice. Delete, delete, delete. And now I'm left with the letters that I want in the order that I want them. So now I'm just going to come over here and place them together. And voila, I have my monogram. Okay, make sure that that's, I'm going to go and highlight everything and do a line horizontally. Oh, no, not that one. Just try it again. Center vertically. Okay, so now everything is centered. It's a perfect circle and we're ready to go. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to weld all this together because we just did a great job of getting it all spaced and perfectly together. Is this perfectly spaced? Hold on. Let me make sure. I think the lines in the back are kind of playing into my eye. Yeah, I am happy with that. Okay, so I am going to weld them together. I am going to cut it out of white vinyl. So I'm going to just color these white. And what did I say? Did I say 2 1/4? I think I did. So I am going to size these to 2.25. Okay, that looks good. Now I am going to print this twice. So I'm just going to go over here. It's selected. I'm going to hit duplicate. That way we have 2. Let's save this because monograms are amazing and so much fun. So we're probably going to want to, you know, monogram everything. If you're like me, then we're probably going to redo this a million times. So we're just going to say monogram. Okay. Hopefully I spelled monogram right. Did I spell right? Okay. Now we're going to go to make it. Okay. So there it is. I am going to actually drag this just a little bit out. I think while I do want to save vinyl, sometimes Cricut places it a little bit too close for me. So I'm just going to give myself a little space to work with in the middle there. And I'm going to hit continue.
Okay, so I have my vinyl laid on my mat. I'm just going to make sure it's all scraped down. This is a fresh roll. I just got it delivered yesterday. This is the Oracle 651 permanent vinyl. And I got it in the 6-foot roll because I use a lot of white vinyl. So the colors that I use a lot of, I definitely try to get a little bit more bulk. Okay, load this. Okay, and while that is cutting, I'm going to clean my mug or thermos with some rubbing alcohol just to make sure it's all clean and ready to go. And I am going to do both sides. So this is actually the first time that I've done both sides, but I think it'll be kind of cool. So I tested out this mug, you guys, because I have just been drinking cold coffee for too long. Because us moms just don't have that time to sit and enjoy. So I tested this today, and I think I sipped on this coffee for about 3 hours, and I still had warm, really nice warm coffee. So I will link this for you guys below if you guys are like me and would really like to experience some warm coffee. Plus, we're on the go a lot these days, so it's nice we can have a nice travel mug. Okay. That is done. Oh, that's gonna look awesome. Okay, I'll set this aside, make sure it dries. Okay. I'm going to peel the mat away from the vinyl. That way way my vinyl doesn't bubble up and it doesn't ruin my design. Okay. And then using my paper trimmer, I'm just gonna cut off my piece. That way I have a nice straight edge with my remaining roll. Oh, I just held my breath. I thought for a second that I was gonna cut my design. Oh well, it would have been a learning moment, but goodness, I didn't. Don't worry. Okay. Okay, that looks awesome. All right. Okay, so now I'm just going to weed out my design, leaving the design on the carrier sheet and taking out what I don't want. Ooh, I think this is going to be the perfect size for this mug too. It's going to look really awesome. Okay, so now I'm just going to go through and weed the middles. So for this, once I place it on my mug and get it all done, I'm gonna let my mug sit for a couple days just to let the vinyl really set and cure on the mug. So looks like I'm gonna have cold coffee for a couple days because I think it's best just to let that vinyl really adhere and cure onto the mug before using it again. And then also hand wash only. Obviously no dishwasher and no microwave, definitely not. And then avoid like letting it sit in water, just to protect the vinyl. Okay, so let's just clean this up and get it all down. Okay, so I'm going to use some transfer tape. This is Expressions transfer tape, and all of the materials that I use I'll put in the description below. That way you're not having to remember and write down everything while the tutorial's going on. You can just refer to that description at the end, and it's always there for you guys, so you can always come back to it too. Alright, so I'm just going to place these down. I love Oracle 651 vinyl. I really, really do. It's my favorite to work with. It is so easy to weed. It is so easy to pull up from the transfer sheet on the off of the carrier sheet. So it is. I really enjoy working with it. Okay, I'm just making sure that that is really on there. That way when we go to peel it up, we don't have any problems. Okay. I'm actually going to use this little brayer to hold my mug up. Ooh, that's perfect. Okay. That way I'm not trying to like hold my mug up even and apply at the same time. So just find any little thing that will help you just to place under that handle as a wedge, and you will be thankful for it because then you have two hands to really work with. This is a really, really nice shaped mug to work with because it's completely flat. It's rounded, of course, on the edges, but it's not rounded anywhere else, so it's just gonna lay down super nice. So center that as much as I can. Being careful, because once you lay it down, I mean, it is ready to go. Okay. Okay. I'm just going to rub this down with my fingers to start. And then I'll go back with my scraper tool and do a little bit more. Okay. Well, I'm in love with that. That looks awesome. Oh my gosh, it laid down so nice, you guys. Hopefully you guys can see that. I mean, there's no bubbles. This is a really, really nice mug to work with. Okay, let's do the other side. Let's see how, let's see. Let's grab, just to visually see. I think I was about a little over ½ an inch from the top. Okay. Well, luckily it's on the complete other side, so it's going to be hard to know if they're not quite even or not. But we'll do our best. Okay. So hard to commit. Okay. This is such an easy project and such a fun way to make just a little bit of personality on your mug. I think the hardest part about this project is going to be waiting the couple days to use the mug again. And again, no bubbles. It just, oh, it looks really good, you guys. All right, there we have it. I'm excited to use this. All right, what do you guys think? Do you guys like it? A little bit of work to get the letters all separated in Design Space, but it is well worth it because it turns out so cute. And then just make sure you save your monogram, because then you can resize it and put it on different things. Your monogram's already yours and they're ready to go. All right, guys, if you found this helpful and you're really liking the crafts that I'm doing, make sure you give this a thumbs up, and I'd love it if you guys would subscribe. That way you guys are ready to go to see the next craft I'm gonna be doing. All right, see you later.